Hello, today's video is going to be all about homeopathy. So when I was growing up, I didn't really try any homeopathic remedies at all. Probably because I had a pediatrician for an aunt. So I didn't have any kind of exposure to natural remedies at all until I started my healing journey a few years ago. And at that point, I obviously knew about homeopathy, but I think deep down in my heart, I kind of believed this whole notion that it's just a bogus science, it doesn't really work, it's just placebo and nothing else. So subconsciously, I wasn't really willing to give it a try until I became pretty desperate. I had nothing else to try. I was really suffering from my hay fever caused by my allergy to dust mites. We had a really humid winter, a really humid year to be honest. And the humidity inside the flat is really high and dust mites are proliferating all around the place. And plus we live in a very, very dusty environment. You know, we live in a semi-desert, but by the ocean. So there's a lot of humidity and lots of dust, which is a really bad combination for somebody with dust mite allergy. And the same thing was happening with my sister at the same time. She's also highly allergic to dust mites. So I started reading about all the different remedies and I came across the homeopathic remedies for allergies and specifically for dust mites. So I got this remedy for my sister and her allergy completely went away within a week, which made me very hopeful for myself. So I got the same remedy for myself, for my herb, and my allergy went away completely as well. And now I just need to take it in the evening and in the morning, twice a day. And if I do that, I get no symptoms of any kind of allergy at all, which is amazing after trying hundreds of different things throughout my life. And after that, my husband and I tried a few other things like the headache remedy, the menstrual cramp remedy, the muscle cramp remedy, and they all worked so well. But I'm going to make a separate video talking about all of the top homeopathic remedies that have been the most helpful ones for me and my family. So what is this mysterious and controversial healing method? So homeopathy is a system of complementary medicine in which ailments are treated by minute doses of natural substances that in large amounts would produce symptoms of the ailment. Homeopathy was discovered at the end of 18th century by Samuel Hahnemann, and it was based on a very simple notion of like cures like. And what it basically means is that if you give really minute amounts of substance that causes symptoms of an ailment to a healthy person, they will get sick. But if you give that same amount of that irritating substance to a sick person, they will get better. Because basically that little minuscule amount of the substance will kind of promote the healing of the body, will promote the strengthening of the immune system of the body itself, and will create a sort of a response from the body that will make it stronger and will defeat the disease. So, for example, when it comes to allergies, onion creates watering eyes and sneezing in people who are sensitive to it. Both of those symptoms are the symptoms of hay fever or allergic rhinitis, allergies in general. So for that reason, onion is one of the main ingredients used in homeopathic allergy medications. The same thing can be said, for example, about histamine. Histamine is produced by the body as a response to allergies. So histamine is also one of the main ingredients in any homeopathic remedies, because by exposing the body to minute amounts of histamine, the body basically gets desensitized to histamine. So for me, it completely makes sense, despite the fact that it already worked from the body and made incredible changes. But the whole thinking, the whole science, if you can call it like that, really makes sense to me. The thing is, currently, homeopathy is considered a pseudoscience. It's not backed by any kind of scientific studies, which is really, really sad, but it's not surprising, because if it was found to be effective, it would cause the traditional medicine and the conventional pharmaceutical industry to lose a lot of money. So It's just not something that's going to happen anytime soon. What I do know is what it did to my body. And I also do know what it did to other people that I know. And also when I posted about my homeopathic experiment on my Instagram account a few months ago, I got tons of comments and private messages from a lot of my followers sharing their miraculous story of how much homeopathic remedies helped them when nothing else was helping them. When conventional medicine had nothing to offer them, homeopathy actually cured them, or at least made the symptoms so much better. And anytime I mention homeopathy anywhere in my real life as well, I get very similar responses from people. The next topic I want to talk about is the pros and cons of homeopathy. So the first pro is that homeopathy is completely natural. There's nothing in it apart from plants, minerals, and animals in very, very minuscule amounts, and they usually bind with very small amounts of lactose. So there are no horrible fillers, no chemicals in them, totally natural. The second benefit is that homeopathy doesn't have any side effects, and it doesn't interfere with any kind of medication, prescription medications. So generally it's safe to take for everybody, including pregnant women, which I think is such a great thing. The next thing I love so much about it is how individual and customizable it is. For example, for somebody who's looking for remedies for menstrual cramps, there are probably maybe 15 different remedies based on what the pain feels like, where it's located, whether heat or cold helps, what the woman's emotional state is, and so on and so forth. And there are so many different things to try based on exactly what's going on in the body. I find it fascinating. I've never found anything as customizable as this in any other healing remedies, and I think it's just amazing. The next great thing is that homeopathy is very, very affordable, and generally homeopathic preparations will be cheaper than any other herbs, supplements, and I'm not even talking about conventional medications. The next good thing is that homeopathy works really quickly, generally within the first 20-30 minutes, and the effects last for a few hours. Then of course the dose needs to be topped up, but usually with time you need less and less, and the dose is less and less often. For example, with my allergy at the beginning, I was taking the full dose of 4 times a day, and now I get by with twice a day, and maybe in a month or two I'll just need it once a day, and then once a week. And that's the beauty of it. It teaches your body to work properly by itself. It doesn't mask any symptoms. It literally deals with the actual problem and gets rid of it, which I really like. And another great thing is that homeopathic remedies generally taste good, or at least neutral. So the tablets generally are bind just with lactose, which is slightly sweet, so they don't really have any kind of taste, and I honestly don't mind them. I would say they're even kind of pleasant to take. The extracts, the homeopathic remedies, and alcohol, those also don't taste bad at all, because literally just alcohol and nothing else, so they're really not bad at all. Another good thing about homeopathy is that it doesn't create any kind of dependence. So homeopathic remedies can be stopped and started at any time. And the last thing I love so much about homeopathy is that it really teaches people to take control of their health and of their healing, because when they take homeopathic remedies, everything is completely up to them. The dosing, the frequency of the dose, they are the ones that have to follow the body signs and see whether the remedy is working for them or not, and whether to take more or less. It's all in their hands. And it also teaches them on how to be more in tune with the body, how to listen to the body signs better, which I think is such a great thing, because usually when somebody takes conventional medications, then all of the trust and all of the control and responsibility is put into the doctor's hands, and the patient literally has no control whatsoever, and it's never a good thing. Right, now let's talk about the cons. Of course, just like everything else, homeopathy has a couple of cons as well, which for me they're not a big deal at all, but for some people they might be a big deal. So the first problem, of course, is that homeopathy is not scientifically proven, and it's officially called pseudoscience, which might be trouble if you are very fanatical about science and you take it as gospel. In that case, it might bother you, but why not try, something cheap, something that doesn't have any side effects. Why be so close-minded? Another trouble with homeopathy is that it's more art than science. So it takes a lot of trial and error to find the right remedy and the right dose. It's not easy, especially if you're doing it by yourself without any kind of homeopathic specialist. And even for an experienced specialist, they might have to try a few different remedies until they find one that works. So it does take time. But if you're somebody who likes experimenting, and if you're somebody who's really in tune with the body, I think it's a very interesting experience. I personally really enjoy that part of experimenting and finding something that works. I don't mind that. So for me, it's more of a pro than con, but everybody's different. So this is everything I wanted to share with you today when it comes to homeopathic remedies. I find that a truly fascinating topic, and as I said, I'll be making another video very soon with all of my favorite remedies, homeopathic remedies that really made a huge difference in the health of my family and I. So keep an eye out for that. And now it's your turn to share with me your experiences with homeopathic remedies. Have you tried them? Do you believe in homeopathy, or do you think it's bogus science? Are you a science nut maybe, or are you into alternative healing? Let me know. I'm super curious to know what you think, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.